Have you ever been in a situation where you felt God delivered you, did something, but then you find out you weren't completely delivered, and then you find out later on that He was using it as a lesson? If that doesn't make any sense, let me tell you my story, see if it helps you. So 2 years ago, around the same time, I hurt my MCL in my right knee. For over a year and a half-ish, I was in pain. No matter what I did, if I had my leg up, if I had crutches at one point, I had a cane, I had a walker, I was basically on bed rest, constantly kept it elevated, blah, 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 blah. Ice packs, heat pads, whatever you want to call it. Physical therapy, shots, everything. Nothing helped. And yeah, believe it or not, I lacked prayer now that I think about it. Wow, that just hit me. I don't think I prayed about it a lot. I may have prayed a couple of times. But anyway, I realized I prayed wrong anyway. So anyway, let's keep going. So I guess through all of that, because I was favoring that leg so much that it wound up hurting my left knee. So when my right knee was better and I don't have any pains or anything, my left knee became a problem, but it didn't hurt in the same spots. It hurt in a different spot, but I still try to do all the same things that I was doing. And I shared a video on here one day. I was in church and I was vacuuming, and I felt the Lord tell me, run a lap in the sanctuary. And I was like, this sounds crazy. But that same morning, I had just prayed, God, help me to trust in you. And when I was like, are you serious? In my head, I was like, are you serious? And I heard the word trust, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this, whether it's you or not. You see, I'm obeying, I'm believing that it's you. And I started running. About the time I got, 5 or 6 steps, I didn't feel the pain anymore. Forgive my dogs. So let me try to go to a different room because they want to play fight. So I didn't have any, I did my healing, go find my video or whatever. So sorry, I'm coming to the hallway. So I didn't feel any pain for a while, and my daughter and I were getting ready to go to, I guess I'll go into the bathroom. My daughter and I were getting ready to go to Disney World and go to Epcot. Well, you know what happens with that. You gotta have plenty of walking time. And I didn't really want to do a scooter. I was trying to be in my deliverance, I guess is what I want to say. I was trying to be prideful, I guess. So I go, and the night before we did a lot of walking before we even went to Epcot, and I already knew I had blew it. Now I still to this day have not hurt in that same spot that God has healed me in. That part has not hurt since that day, but I hurt in other places in that knee. So, of course, we do that, and then we barely get to do anything in Epcot, and I didn't think about it. We could have probably gone the rest of the day, and I could have got a motorized scooter, but my daughter had also hurt her neck, had a stiff neck, and I didn't want to put her on any rides that might hurt her even worse. So we were just like, let's call it a day. Please don't remind me of the money that I lost. It still hurts. So I am not as bad as I was right after the trip, but the day of Epcot and days to follow, because we stopped by and saw my sister afterwards, my thighs, my calves, both knees were hurting. My feet were aching. And I was like, Lord, what did I do? I can't, you just healed me, and here I am. I'm worse off than what I was. So I went down to, everything else is fine, and I'm down to just my knee hurting. And I am like, God, I don't understand. You healed me. Why is this happening? Why am I not healed? Why do I still have the pain? Why am I still having to walk? Why am I still having to use, at home I use the walker because I'm trying to help it. I'm sitting down, I've got my leg raised up, and I've got a heating pad on it or an ice pack or something. Just something to make the pain go away, to help it heal, whatever I need to do. And I'm like, God, I don't get it. I know what happened. That was not a lie. That happened that day. And I was like, how do I go back? And in all honesty, it was like, how do I go back into church after these people have seen and I've told them what had happened, and I'm still hobbling and I'm still hurting this. So anyway, I just let it go. And I went into church. I didn't let that stop me, by the way. Don't let that stop you. So I been praying for healing, of course, because I was like, I guess because I didn't pray before, now I was like, I'm going to pray. We're going to have this. I'm not going through a year and a half of this. No, Lord, depending on you, you're my healer. Let's do this. So I've been praying a whole lot more about it. And there's days that it won't hurt as bad, but it still hurts. And there's days that I'm more active and it hurts. And I'm like, God, I don't know what to do. I sit around and I baby it and it still hurts. I get up and I do a bunch of stuff and it hurts worse. And it's like even just cleaning my house becomes more than a chore. So we live on the 3rd floor, technically 2nd floor, I guess. We only have to come up 1 flight of stairs and to get to my apartment. And one day I heard, my grace is sufficient. Or I heard it several times. My grace is sufficient. And I'm like, I know you. And it was, no, his grace is sufficient to get me through, to get me up the stairs, to get me through my housework, to get me through helping at church, to get me through singing in the choir, to get me through walking wherever in a store. And his grace is sufficient. And that's what I kept telling myself. I was like, okay, I get it. You're helping me through this, even though it still hurts. It's still, and I pray against, God, please don't let this be a thorn in my flesh. I don't want to deal with this the rest of my life. So I joke about that, but I mean, so it hit me. My preacher always says, make sure you pray in detail. And then I get confounded with that. I don't know where that word came from, but that's what's in my head, because it's like, I don't know how to pray in detail because I don't know fully what to ask for. So I don't remember where I heard it or how it came about. I don't know if it just was a revelation, but I heard wholeness. And then it hit me. A story that I've always loved was the woman with the issue of blood touches the hem of Jesus' garment. And he says, your faith has made you whole. Well, then another story that kept coming up to me was the lepers, was it the 9 lepers? And Jesus healed them, and they went to the priest. And I heard, I don't know who it was, a preacher, a story, a service, I don't remember. But they explained it to where, I pray it's 9 because that's what comes in my head. But the one came back. And Jesus asked him, why did you not go to the priest? And he was like, well, I'm healed. And then Jesus tells him, you're whole. And what was said to me in that service, or what I got from that service, was he didn't just heal them. He made them whole. And he described it as with like leprosy. Yeah, you've got all these crevices. So even if you're healed, if you lost fingers, toes, you're still going to be without the fingers and the toes. If you've got sores all over, you're going to have scabs, you're going to have scars, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what else, but that was the stuff that he was saying. But he said he made you whole. When you're made whole, it's as if it never happened. Boom. Boom. Those 2 stories came up to me, and I was like, that's what it is. I prayed for healing. I didn't pray for wholeness, for one. So I changed my prayer. I prayed for healing, but I prayed for wholeness. Now, here's the next lesson. I heard, again, another sermon, preacher lesson. Unfortunately, I can't remember. And it was a sermon. And it said they asked for 3 things. They asked, Lord, let me bless somebody today. Lord, pour your blessings on me and let me be able to receive your blessings. The way they explained that was, when you ask for a blessing, a prayer, answer to a prayer, healing, whatever it is, you have to be ready to receive it. You have to be ready to receive it. Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, physically. So that message popped up to me. And when I was healed, I didn't take care of myself. I was not ready to receive that blessing. And I went out and I pushed myself trying to do 12,000 steps in one day, 24,000 steps in 2 days, and caused more pain and destruction, whatever you want to say, for my knee. I was not ready to receive it. I prayed for the healing. I did not pray for wholeness, and I did not pray for being ready to receive it. I don't know a better word to say than that. For just being ready. And that hit me as in, that goes for everything. Whatever you're praying for, be ready to receive it. You need to pray that God works on you to receive it, because if you're not ready, 1, you're going to do more damage. And 2, it may not fully be what God wants at that time. And I'm going to throw this one up that just came to me. When I separated from, we were divorced. My first husband, we were married, we got divorced. And I moved away to Florida, and I moved back because I wanted to be with him again. And he said if I moved up there that we would try. If I moved back to North Carolina, we would try. I remember getting down and praying, Lord, bring us back together. Lord, put us back together. Lord, put us back together. Now, once did I pray for any type of fix me, heal me, fix him, heal him. Is this your will? None of that. None of it. None of it. 1, I didn't know. Doesn't mean it's an excuse. I just didn't know. So then he did. And I heard someone say one time, you will never find a story in the Bible where God did not answer a woman's prayer. Now, granted, I have not checked every single one of them, but I thought that was interesting. And I was like, God answered my prayer, even though it shouldn't have been. We got remarried. I was not healed. I was not fixed. I was still broken. He was not fixed. He was not healed. And I really don't believe it was of his will. And I will stand here and I can say that. And I thought I would love that man and want that man for the rest of my life. And I remember telling him that, and I feel horrible now that I said it. Not saying I don't care for him. That's not what I'm saying. But I remember the day I was standing in the shower and I was praying. And I remember the day that I no longer had those feelings for him anymore. And I knew then that it was not God's will. Plain and simple. So, that was an extra 4-ish years. Plus whatever additional years that I hung on to him. Plus the time that I was broken and jumped to other relationships that I shouldn't have been in. That cost me another pain, suffering, rejection, all name everything. And if I would have stopped and prayed for healing, for his will, for wholeness, I believe I would have been down a different track. So remember those things. When you pray for whatever you're praying for, pray for wholeness, pray for deliverance, pray for healing, but pray that you are ready to accept whatever is coming to you, whatever God has planned for you. I love you.